tuned into the Final Round Show. Keep that browser locked.
Hey, what up, everybody? You're back here on the Final Round Sports Show here on eventlevel.com, man. I had to say I watched the Bellator this weekend. It was really cool Bellator. A lot of great fights Bellator's put together with their tournament style fighting. And man, I really have to introduce our next guest. I'm a big fan. Big pleasure to have him on. Multi-judo medalist Rick Genghis-Khan is on the line right now. What is up? How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, it's a pleasure to have you on. RickHawn, of course, is going to be fighting Brent Weidman in the upcoming Bellator. Is that Bellator 70, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, Bellator 70 for the lightweight championship belt. It's the finale. It's huge and incredible, man. And you were just fresh off your last fight with Lloyd Woodward, which was an incredible fight too. That you ended up knocking him the hell out, man. I was so impressed by that win. And if I don't know, I kind of had the feeling that you were almost pitted as kind of an underdog to Lloyd Woodard going into the fight, but it didn't look that way because you just dominated that fight in Bellator 66. Yeah, what were your thoughts on that fight going into that fight?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think I was considered an underdog in some ways, just because of the fact that he destroyed Pitbull, which was kind of the favorite of the tournament. So, there's no pressure on me. I usually just go out there and just do my thing, and we game plan for him, and he did exactly what we thought he was going to do. And he's kind of a predictable fighter and emotional type of guy, so we kind of just shut that down and played our game, and we worked to our advantage. And obviously you could tell from the fight he wasn't really liking the way I was fighting him, so caused him to make a mistake.
I mean, he was the kind of guy that, he has these big pork chop sideburns, and he, like you said, he's really emotional. He's trying to pump everything up, and I was just so amazed the domination out of that. That was incredible. You just said that you just got back from Canada, right? From Montreal?
Yeah, I've been up there basically the last 5 months, but this last time 3 weeks in prep for this fight.
Okay, so who are you training with up there again?
I train at TriStar, so obviously GSP, he's not training right now, he's injured, but I've been training with Rory McDonald, Mark Bocek, Sean Pearson, all the UFC fighters are up there, Francis Carmel, and a ton of other guys that fight in Bellator as well, and other big shows. So
how'd you get hooked up to there? Those are some pretty high caliber. I mean, getting to train, roll with people like GSP and Rory McDonald, some of the the top people. How'd you get hooked up with the gym up there in Montreal?
Well, I was looking for a gym to go after last summer. After I lost in the Bellator finals, I kind of left my old gym, and I'm a Henzo Gracie affiliate out here in New Hampshire, and also so they're an affiliate of TriStar, and I've been friends with those guys, Henzo and those guys down in New York. So it was they kind of hooked it up, and I went up there last summer and started training. And unfortunately, last summer I got injured training up there, but. I've been up there since, and it's the best decision I could have made, and I've improved so much from training with those guys, and then having Faraz Zahabi as my head coach is pretty amazing.
You're talking about your type of training style. This is kind of a different opponent than Lloyd Woodard or some of your previous opponents, because Brent Weidman is kind of more of a I guess someone say a well-rounded fighter. Um, is there something you're kind of looking for him to do or anything, or is it what is kind of your strategy against going into this fight?
Well, like I said, he's very well rounded. I think his biggest assets are he's very durable. Almost his last couple of fights have been kind of back and forth battles, and he's just kind of prevailed and won off the mistakes of the other guys. So I'm not taking him lightly at all. He's definitely a good striker. He's a good jiu-jitsu guy. But I think his main strengths are his heart and his determination and his he doesn't have a no quit attitude. So I think in a lot of areas though I outstrength him, I outpower him.
Dude, you look like a beast, man. I mean, I don't know. Was it that cut, the weight cut down to lightweight or something? I don't know, because I mean, you were right there at the championship. You almost had it the last tournament, and now you dropped down to lightweight, and I don't know. You're just a beast down here, man. It's crazy.
No, yeah, I definitely feel a difference. Dropping 20, 30 pounds makes a big difference when you're fighting guys and they're trying to take your head off. So I'm one of the bigger guys, stronger guys now. So definitely a great.
Is that weight cut killer?
Yeah, it's no fun.
Now, like me and Sinister, we always talk on the show. And Sinister, you can take it away because I know you've known Rick for a while, just being from Massachusetts. And
I talked. We were talking to Rick off here, and I tell a lot of people. I saw Rick fight on that CFX Wartown B-Town. That was Gary and Linda Shields' very first promotion event out in Worcester, Mass, with Mike Varner. Great event that night. You knew something big was coming from CFX, and Rick Hahn was on that card. And I kept my eye on Rick Hahn. He's come up through a couple of other CFX fights. The thing about Rick Hahn is he's got this Olympic background with judo. But throughout his career here, he's been knocking people out. He's been in this Bellator. He's been knocking people out. His striking is phenomenal. And I'd like to know if, when are we going to, we know you can work on the ground, but would it be satisfaction for you to just go old school and get this win this weekend using your judo and your ground technique?
Yeah, it'd be nice. I know Brent is, he's a brown belt in judo too, so, he knows what's coming, but I definitely think I'll power him in, the last two guys that he's fought. So I'm with the two welterweights that dropped down. So we're here for a reason. But it'd be nice to get a nice and quick knockout, get the trifecta of the tournament, and be done with it. But I'll take what I can get, and I know it's not going to be easy.
Now, not like holding that big check in the middle of the ring either.
Yeah, no. I missed out last year on that one, so I got to collect it now.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a question for you though. Last week on Bellator 69, there's a guy I saw down in Connecticut, Carl Amasu the Psycho, and I fell in love with this guy. This guy's sick. He fought Rickles, and it went to decision, and Carl Amasu won that fight by decision. And I've been involved with MMA. They always tell you, every school tells you, every coach tells you, don't let it get to the cards just for this reason. I was just wondering if you were able to see that fight and what your thoughts were on that fight, because it's being highly debated.
Yeah, definitely. I saw that fight. We all watched it up in Montreal, and it was a very close fight. But Rickles, he kind of got down early. Amasu was kind of like they had the game plan for him, but he just couldn't put it together. He came back at the end, but Amasu started to gas and kind of blew his wad the first round and a half. So it was a close fight, very entertaining, but definitely what happens, leave it to the judges.
And Amasu actually broke out of one hell of an armbar because Rickles almost had him done. I believe it was like in the second round, and Amasu was able to escape that armbar. And I tell you right now, when you see a guy usually break something like that, the judges are going to kind of lean for this guy to take that fight when it hits the scorecards.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want to be a judge for that fight, but he was just more aggressive, I think, and which got him the win, even though he probably took most of the damage. But he was more explosive. Throws, I think, made played a big part in the decision for him.
What did you get your boxing? Back to what you were talking about your training and your boxing, because you got a lot of wins by knockout. Was that a lot of the just train? Was that training at TriStar? Do you have specialists in like boxing or stand up? I mean, where does that knockout power come from?
I think the power has kind of always been there. I just had to refine and get my boxing better. My footwork and stuff has been a lot better. The last few months, I've noticed a big difference. Obviously, dropping down to lightweight, the guys are smaller, but my boxing, I've really been focusing a lot on it. Up in Montreal, I train with Howard Grant. So he's an excellent boxing coach. When I'm down here in New Hampshire, I train with Mohammed Brooks out of Nashua. So, I really work on my boxing, and, it's nowhere close to where I want it to be yet. And, I'm looking forward to actually having good boxing one of these days, and it could be something scary for the guys I fight.
Well, I think it looks great, and just really just growing up. What did you just decide that you were going to get into judo? Like, well, how was your entrance into the fight game, into like judo and stuff like that, into sort of martial arts introduction?
My dad got me started when I was younger. He knew it'd be a good sport for me to try out. It's great for young, for kids. It teaches them a lot of discipline and focus, and coordination, and everything. So that was basically my introduction to judo, and I fell in love with it from day one, and that's how I got going to that. And quite soon after I started, my goal was to make an Olympic team. And, I was fortunate enough that didn't fall through, and made that. And then the next step was, I was still young enough to try MMA, and my body was healthy, and now here I am.
That sounds great, man. Sounds great. You got to travel too. Where did you get to go to Greece and all sorts of places, right?
Yeah, I've throughout my career training and traveling, I've been like 27 different countries. So.
Oh, incredible!
All over the place. Very expensive to judo stuff. I have to pay for everything.
Wow, man. And the name, and I wanted to ask you this question though. The name Genghis, nickname Genghis, is that because do people say you look like Genghis Khan? Is that what the connection is, or where'd you get that nickname?
No. Someone on Twitter, I keep forgetting the guy's name. He mentioned that for my first fight. I feel bad for not remembering his name or his Twitter handle, but that's kind of how it started. And I was like, well, I'll go with a nickname if someone else, kind of defined it to me, and that's where we're at.
So it was just straight off your Twitter following, just your.
Yep.
And by the way, for our listeners, if you want to tweet Rick, it's at RickHawn, HAWN MMA. This is Twitter, at RickHawn MMA. Sinister, you got a question?
Yeah, usually we bring these guys on the show, and we usually get really, really technical with these guys, and I try to get feedback from some of the people that listen to the Final Round show, and one of the things that they said that they like to hear us ask these guys sometimes is the out of the box question. So I want to know, when you're getting ready this week and it's getting ready to get game time, is there something that you put on that, because I know sometimes I go behind the scenes and I got to get nicknames from guys before, the night kicks off and stuff. And a lot of the guys got their headphones on and things like that. So I was wondering, is there anything that you do or anything you listen to just get yourself in that right frame of mind?
Leading up to, right before the fight, I usually don't listen to music usually, while I'm, warming up or anything, or, I just kind of, just soak it all in and just try to stay, focused. I'll listen to music and stuff, and on the plane ride down, and obviously in the hotel room, and I'm cutting weight and stuff. But nothing right before the fight. I've never really been that type of person that's put on music every once in a while. But put on some rock or something and kind of get in the zone. But
the other question I always like to ask guys, because I know a lot of guys, they start to get cranky around wait time. But when you're finally done and your fight is all over, what is that cheat food? What is that one thing? I know we asked Chuck O'Neal this. We asked a lot of guys this question. What is your
I
food?
wanted to know. Well, I'm sure I know what Chuck's cheat meal was. It was probably pizza, because I've been hanging out with him for the last 3 weeks. So, and I'm cornering Chuck for his fight next week in Chicago. So we've already made plans that we're going for pizza afterwards. So that's my cheat food too. Is definitely pizza.
Chuck is a great. Chuck's a great guy, and it's nice seeing a guy like Chuck where he is today.
Chuck's buddy's Charlie Rader, who had on the show also. He's going to be in that same fight card with you at the Bellator, and you know that's got to be a lot of seeing a lot of these names, Boston people get up and rise their ranks in mixed martial arts. Man, it's sick.
Well, I'm going to be rooting for Rick, because you know why? Because I know if Rick takes home this title on Friday night on MTV2, it'll be nice, because I know Bellator loves coming back to Connecticut, and I just can't wait to see Bellator rolling to Connecticut, and I can get to see that lightweight champion Rick Hahn banner hanging above above that ring, above that cage, and I'll tell you, it's going to be a great sight to see. That's one picture I can't wait to add to my Facebook page.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. Can't wait.
Very nice. Rick Hahn, people can reach you at RickHawn.com. That's correct, right?
That's my website, and also Facebook, and then Twitter, Rick Hahn at Rick Hahn MMA. Rick Hahn
MMA. Before we go, is there any promotions or shout outs or anything you'd like to get out there?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my sponsors. Well, some of them, there's a ton of them. Fuji, Zebra, Game 7, Neuro Impact, American Jiu-Jitsu, Skin Compression Gear, Strongman Security, Green Apple Cleaners. There's several more, but the list goes on and on. But yeah, I'd like to thank all my fans. Thank you guys for having me on, and all my support, and I hope to talk to you guys again afterwards.
All right, and one last question before you go. It's going to be one you're going to have to think about very hard. If you had to, what would be your strategy if you were to fight Ronda Rousey in a judo match?
I don't know. Not to go on the ground with her, that's for sure.
He's honest.
I've learned that before. Yeah, she's actually arm barred me before when we used to train. She's very sneaky.
Really?
Yeah.
When'd you train with Ronda at?
Well, in Boston here. We were teammates in the 04 Olympics, and then we were at our training for 08, and we were roommates, traveled together, and I know her very well.
Oh wow, incredible! So was she a pretty tough opponent, and when you rolled around with her, was she?
Oh yeah, she's always had that ground game. Probably better now, but she's always had that ability to get your arm at any angle.
Did you think she could take on some of these guys in the sport? I mean, she's out there calling out people left and right. I mean, she's like, oh yeah, God. She could.
Yeah, could be.
Definitely. All right.
I told you, all of Team Alpha Male would not stand a chance against her. There's nobody in Team Alpha Male that would. Not even Uriah Faber. Not even Uriah Faber.
Wow. We saw what happened to Dominic Cruz, right? He's out. Anyway, Rick Hahn, man. This Friday, MTV2, Bellator, he's going to be fighting for the lightweight championship against Brent Weidman. We cannot wait to see this. And man, good luck and great success. I can't wait to see your heavy fist in action going down this Friday, Rick.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And you take care, man.
Thanks, man. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Take care, Rick. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Wow.
Great interview.
Great interview. We're gonna have to take a break. I didn't know that was crazy. I didn't know he rolled around with Ronda Rousey. I did not know that. That's
He was man enough to admit that he got arm barred too.
I'm saying I'm man enough to admit it's time to take a break. We're gonna hit you up with some high music. We'll be right back after the break. Final round show.
You're tuned into the Final Round Show. Keep that browser locked.
Eventlevel.com.
Join eventlevel.com. TooBigTV.com. Promote yourself. It's bmradio.com. Join.
seen what I seen and you could deal with the tears in my eyes. Through all the struggle, knowing they love me, gotta deal with the ills in my mind. I just wanna be able to feel free without the drama. I'm a warrior, gotta protect my honor, yeah, and still see the tears in my eyes. The pain that comes, I let it go. I just sit back and let it flow. The pain that comes, I let it go. I just sit back and let it flow. Look at me, look at me. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I've had my ups and downs, but now I've found that life is what you make it. When you're faced with trials, you gotta take it. I've seen so much trouble and struggle and people killed in my lifetime, but I gotta keep, I gotta be strong. For me to succeed, I simply gotta be. The pain that comes, I let it go. I just sit back and let it flow. The pain that comes, I let it go. I just sit back and let it flow. Look at me, daddy, look at me. I was told I have to love my brother, I have to honor that father, I have to hug my mother. Tell my sister, she know that I love her, and I hope she understand. I'm only being a man. All is the plan, I'm doing the best I can. Falling short, I'm human, but knowing one day I'll stand. I said I gotta keep, I gotta be strong. For me to succeed, I simply gotta be. You see what I see, and you can deal with the tears in my eyes. Through all the struggle, knowing they love me, gotta deal with the ills in my mind. I just wanna be able to feel free without the drama. I'm a warrior, gotta protect my honor, yeah, and still see the tears in my eyes. I'm a warrior.